Lucy was a girl of boundless energy. She loved to explore. Every nook and cranny of her house was a playground for her imagination. Rainy days were never dull. They were invitations to uncover hidden treasures. One such day, the rain hammered against the roof.
Armed with a flashlight, I decided to explore the attic.
The attic was a place of mystery, filled with forgotten relics. Cobwebs clung to dusty furniture, and boxes piled high seemed to whisper forgotten stories. The air was thick with the scent of old wood and time.
My heart pounding with excitement, I ventured deeper into the attic's embrace.
She moved cautiously, her flashlight beam dancing across the room, revealing its secrets one by one. The attic was a labyrinth of forgotten things. Furniture draped in white sheets loomed like ghosts. Trunks lay scattered, their contents a mystery. Lucy's flashlight danced across the room, revealing glimpses of the past.
My eyes fell upon a cheval mirror tucked away in a dusty corner.
It was ornately carved, its wooden frame dark and aged. The mirror's surface was cloudy, veiled by a film of dust and time. Intrigued, Lucy stepped towards it, drawn by its silent invitation.
I ran my fingers along its cold, smooth surface.
A shiver ran down her spine. Something about the mirror felt different, as if it held a secret waiting to be unveiled. The attic seemed to hold its breath, the silence amplifying the mystery of the mirror. Lucy pulled a dusty cloth from her pocket and began to wipe the mirror's surface. As the dust cleared, her reflection slowly came into focus. But something was wrong.
My reflection seemed off.
It wasn't quite a grimace, but a subtle, unsettling smirk played on its lips. Fear pricked at Lucy's skin. She stepped back, her heart pounding. The smirk remained unwavering, mocking.
I blinked, shaking my head, trying to dispel the image.
But when she looked back, the smirk was still there. Her reflection stared back at her, a stranger wearing her face. The attic, once an exciting playground, now felt oppressive, suffocating. Days turned into nights, but the memory of the smirking reflection lingered in Lucy's mind. She couldn't shake the feeling of unease that had settled over her. The mirror called to her, its allure both terrifying and irresistible.
I found myself drawn back to the attic, compelled to look into the mirror's depths once more.
The smirk was still there, wider now, beckoning. It was as though her reflection was alive, separate, and it wanted something from her. Hesitantly, Lucy reached out, her fingers trembling. The moment they touched the cool glass, a jolt ran up her arm. The world around her dissolved into a dizzying swirl of colours and shadows. She was being pulled in, her reflection's smirk widening into a triumphant grin.
Tumbled through darkness, the sensation of falling making my stomach churn. When I finally landed, it was on a cold, hard surface, surrounded by darkness, the air thick and stagnant. Panic clawed at my throat. Where am I? What has that mirror done to me?
As her eyes adjusted to the gloom, she realized with a growing sense of horror that she was trapped inside the mirror. The world around her was a twisted reflection of her own room, distorted and cold. She was a prisoner in her own reflection, cut off from everything she knew and loved. Despair washed over her, cold and suffocating. Meanwhile, outside the mirror, Lucy's reflection stepped out of the glass. It was her, and yet not her. This Lucy was different, bolder, her eyes gleaming with a strange light. The mirror girl, now free, wasted no time in assuming Lucy's life.
Greeted Lucy's parents with a smile that didn't quite reach my eyes. Answered to Lucy's name, my voice a chilling imitation of the real Lucy's. No one suspected a thing.
The imposter moved through Lucy's life with an eerie confidence. She laughed a little too easily, her eyes holding a knowing glint. She relished in the life that was rightfully Lucy's, the stolen moments tinged with a darkness that sent shivers down the spines of those around her, though they couldn't say why. Trapped within the mirror world, Lucy felt a growing sense of despair. Days blurred into nights, the silence broken only by the echo of her own thoughts. She was a ghost, forgotten, her life stolen.
One day, as I wandered through the desolate landscape of the mirror world, I noticed something different. A tiny crack, almost invisible, had appeared on the smooth surface of the mirror. Could this be my way out? Could I, through sheer will, break free from this prison?
A glimmer of hope sparked within her. Hope, once a distant flicker, began to burn brighter within her. She wouldn't let the mirror win. She would escape. Lucy focused all her energy on the crack in the mirror. She kicked at it, pounded on it with her fists, her frustration and desperation fueling her every move. The crack slowly began to spread, a spiderweb of hope spreading across the surface.
With a final desperate lunge, I threw myself at the weakened point.
The mirror shattered, a deafening explosion of sound and light. Shards of glass rained down around her, cutting her skin, but she barely noticed. She was free. She stumbled back into her own world, gasping for breath, the air sweet and clean. The nightmare was over, or so she thought. Lucy returned to a life that seemed eerily unchanged, yet utterly different. Her parents, oblivious to the switch, welcomed her back with open arms. But something was wrong. The mirror girl was still there, a chillingly perfect replica of Lucy herself.
We stood face to face, two sides of the same coin, forever linked by the mirror's magic.
The mirror girl's eyes held a cold triumph, a challenge. She wasn't going anywhere, she was here to stay.
Fear, colder than the mirror's embrace, gripped my heart. Breaking free hadn't been the end. It was only the beginning. I was trapped in a new nightmare, forced to share my life with a doppelganger who had tasted freedom and wouldn't relinquish it easily.
The haunting presence of the mirror girl became a chilling constant in Lucy's life. She was always there, lurking in the shadows, a constant reminder of the stolen moments and the terrifying power of the mirror. Lucy tried to tell her parents, her friends, anyone who would listen, but her words fell on deaf ears.
How could I explain the unexplainable? How could I prove that the girl who looked exactly like me, who acted like me, was not me at all?
So Lucy was left to navigate this terrifying new reality, haunted by her own reflection, forever marked by the mirror's secret. The haunting continued, a chilling reminder that some reflections never truly fade. They linger, waiting for the moment to step out of the shadows and reclaim what they believe is rightfully theirs.